January 1944, Anzio beachhead, Italy. 2 British destroyers sit offshore providing gunfire support. German aircraft attack with guided glide bombs. Sources differ on whether the weapon was the Henschel HS-293 or the Fritz X. Both ships are hit. HMS Janus is destroyed with catastrophic loss of life, around 160 dead. HMS Jervis has her entire bow blown clean off. 40 feet of steel, gone. But her crew? No one is killed. No one even seriously wounded. She limps into Naples at 8 knots under her own power, pulling 80 of Janus's survivors from the water along the way. Same class, same attack, same moment. 2 completely different outcomes. How does a destroyer earn 13 battle honours across 5.5 years of the most brutal naval warfare in history, and never lose a single crewman to enemy action? Not because she was never hit. She was hit, badly, more than once. Because when she was hit, she somehow kept her men alive. That is the story of Lucky Jervis. To understand what made Jervis extraordinary, you first need to understand what the Mediterranean did to British destroyers. When Italy entered the war in June 1940, the Royal Navy faced a Regia Marina force of 6 battleships, 19 cruisers, and 59 destroyers. Then it got worse. In January 1941, Fliegerkorps 10 transferred to Sicily, bringing roughly 186 specialized anti-shipping aircraft within striking range of every convoy route. Malta sat at the crossroads. Whoever controlled the sea lanes around Malta controlled North Africa. British destroyers held those lanes open, and the Mediterranean consumed them. Of the 24 J, K, and N-class destroyers that the Royal Navy built, 13 were sunk, 54%. Jervis operated at the centre of this slaughter. Her own sister ships fell around her one by one. HMS Juno bombed off Crete. HMS Jersey mined at Valletta. HMS Jupiter mined in the Java Sea. HMS Jaguar torpedoed by a U-boat. HMS Jackal scuttled after air attack damage. HMS Janus destroyed at Anzio. 6 of 7 sisters gone. Only HMS Javelin survived alongside Jervis, and she barely, having lost both her bow and stern to torpedoes in November 1940. This was the world Jervis operated in, a world where a destroyer's life expectancy was measured in months. So what gave Jervis her edge? She was the flotilla leader of the J-class, built by Hawthorne Leslie at Hebburn-on-Tyne. Commissioned May 1939, just 4 months before war broke out. She displaced 1,690 tons standard, roughly 2,330 tons at full load, 356 feet long. Parsons geared steam turbines producing 40,000 shaft horsepower drove her at 36 knots. The J-class was designed to fix a specific problem. The preceding Tribal-class destroyers carried 8 4.7-inch guns, but only 4 torpedo tubes, too gun-heavy for fleet actions against capital ships. The Admiralty corrected this. Jervis mounted 6 4.7-inch guns in 3 twin-powered mountings and 10 21-inch torpedo tubes in 2 quintuple mounts. Fewer guns than a Tribal, but nearly 3 times the torpedo broadside. This was a ship designed to kill cruisers and battleships, not just trade gunfire with other destroyers. The technology that truly separated Jervis from her enemies came later. Type 2 7.1 centimetric surface search radar, fitted from 1942 onwards, gave her the ability to detect enemy ships at night before they could see her. Italian destroyers had no radar, no ASDIC. In the confined waters of the Mediterranean, where most actions were fought at night, this was the difference between hunting and being hunted. If you are finding this deep dive into Royal Navy engineering interesting, subscribing takes a second and supports the channel. Now let us see what Jervis did with these capabilities. Her first defining action came at Cape Matapan on the night of March 28, 1941. Admiral Cunningham's Mediterranean fleet, acting on ultra-intelligence, caught the Italian fleet south of the Peloponnese. British battleships annihilated the heavy cruisers Zara and Fiume at point-blank range. Then Jervis moved in. Captain Philip Mack finished Zara with torpedoes. She went down at approximately 0240. Mack then brought Jervis alongside the disabled heavy cruiser Polar in one of the war's rare boarding actions. his boarding party found the Italian crew in disarray. Survivors were taken off before Pola was torpedoed to the bottom. Italy lost 3 heavy cruisers and 2 destroyers in a single night. The Royal Navy lost 1 torpedo bomber. 3 weeks later came the action that proved Captain Mack's tactical brilliance beyond any doubt. The Battle of the Tarigo Convoy, April 16, 1941. Mack led 4 destroyers in a radar-guided night ambush against 5 Axis transports carrying 3,000 troops to North Africa, escorted by 3 Italian destroyers. The result was annihilation. All 5 transports sunk. All 3 Italian escorts sunk or run aground. The Italian destroyer, Luca Tarigo, with her captain dead and only 1 surviving officer, managed to fire 2 torpedoes that sank HMS Mohawk. Jervis scuttled the crippled Mohawk by gunfire and rescued 169 of her crew. Total Axis convoy destroyed. This action effectively ended the period of unopposed enemy transport to Libya. Then came the Second Battle of Certe, March 22, 1942. This was the action that proved what British destroyers could achieve through sheer aggression. Jervis, now under Captain Poland, led her division against an Italian force that included the battleship Littorio, displacing over 41,000 tons, armed with 9 15-inch guns. Alongside Littorio sailed heavy cruisers Gorizia and Trento, a light cruiser, and 8 destroyers. Against this, the British had light cruisers and destroyers, no battleships, no carriers. Rear Admiral Vian's escorts used aggressive smoke screens and repeated torpedo charges to shield 4 merchant ships bound for Malta. Jervis laid smoke and provided covering fire. The destroyer's daring runs forced the Italian fleet to withdraw at dusk, a British tactical masterpiece against overwhelming odds. Compare Jervis to what she fought against. Italy's Soldati class, their most modern destroyers, carried 4 120mm guns to Jervis's 6 4.7-inch, 6 torpedo tubes to Jervis's 10. British shells were heavier, 25 kilograms versus 23. British guns fired faster, 10 to 12 rounds per minute versus 6 to 7. No radar, no ASDIC. In a night action, Jervis could see the enemy, shoot faster, hit harder, and deliver nearly twice the torpedo broadside. The technology gap was decisive. The American Fletcher class reveals different design philosophies. Fletchers were larger at 2,050 tons standard, more heavily armed with 5 5-inch dual-purpose guns, and the superb Mark 37 fire control system, and powered by 60,000 shaft horsepower from 4 boilers, providing better survivability. America built 175 of them. Britain built 24 J-K and N-class ships. The J-class was the best Britain could design under 1930s treaty limits. The Fletcher was what unrestricted American industrial power could achieve, different answers to different strategic realities. Jervis earned 13 battle honours across the war: Mediterranean, Libya, Malta, convoys, Matapan, Sfax, Crete, Certe, Sicily, Salerno, Aegean, Adriatic, Anzio, Normandy. No other Royal Navy destroyer matched that total. She participated in every major British naval campaign, from the central Mediterranean to D-Day, where she provided fire support at Gold Beach under Lieutenant Commander Roger Hill on June 6, 1944. Her final tally defies belief. 13 major actions, Italian heavy cruisers sunk at Matapan, an entire Axis convoy annihilated at Sfax, a battleship face down at Certe, her bow blown off at Anzio, fire support at Normandy, 0 crewmen lost to enemy action across 5.5 years of war. The 17 men she did lose died in a collision with a Swedish freighter in March 1940, not from any enemy weapon. She was scrapped at Troon in 1949. No museum ship, no memorial. Her less distinguished sister, HMS Kelly, achieved lasting fame through Lord Mountbatten's celebrity and the Noel Coward film In Which We Serve. The ship with the genuinely superlative record faded into obscurity, but the numbers do not fade. 13 battle honours, 0 combat fatalities. Every sister ship around her sunk or crippled. Lucky Jervis steamed through it all. Was it luck? Was it the brilliance of Captain Mack and the 5 commanding officers who followed him? Was it the training and discipline of her crew, the damage control that kept her fighting when her bow was gone? The honest answer is all of it. Luck put her in the right place. Skill kept her alive when she got there. British destroyer design gave her the tools. Her crew gave her the will. HMS Jervis did not just survive the war. She proved what a well-designed, well-commanded, well-crewed British destroyer could achieve in the most dangerous waters on Earth. The specifications confirm it. The combat record validates it. 13 battles fought, 0 men lost. The luckiest destroyer in the Royal Navy earned that name the hard way, one action at a time, while the Mediterranean burned around her.